since 2005, there was regarding the limitations of the housing policy and programs in changing the nature and structure of South African cities, particularly the reinforcement of exclusion in the way that the structure of the city reproduced itself.
We could not just take one research finding or one piece of research that had certain findings to be the policy direction we should be taking. We needed a kind of a synthesis that brings together what different aspects of the policy dimensions were being interrogated for.
Under the family of research synthesis, we have different methods again, and one of these is the evidence mapping method, which we adopted in this project on human settlement policy making. Evidence mapping, as all methods of research synthesis, follows an explicit, transparent and structured process.
What the evidence map basically does is provide for different types of outcomes and for different components what evidence currently exists. You can then go into each of those pieces of evidence and see a summary of them.
Clearly there's lots of lessons to be learned from this, and we had to go back to stakeholders that were involved in this process to say, would you validate this methodology? Would you be able to say that this is a pilot and go beyond this as a pilot?
This does is it tries to address complexity and say there's many bodies of research in multiple disciplines in a particular domain, and that we need to find ways to adjudicate it. And that's what's really happened at this point, that there's no absolute right or wrong, that the evidence has to be supported, and that there may be other bodies of evidence that need to be considered. And I think that that's incredibly valuable for policymakers.
What the tool has demonstrated, it asks questions about the usefulness of what we think we know in a particular domain for the public at large. It is democratizing research for us, but maybe I think for the state as well, it's also asking of the state to ask the right questions.
From an international perspective, there's a growing drive towards the use of evidence during decision making.